POPAVIST made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes. They go, ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. She go, ooh la la, ah wee wee. We go, ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. She go, ooh la la, ah wee wee. They go, ooh la la, ah wee wee. We go, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. POPAVIST TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. If it's your first time, then come on in, wipe your feet. Over here, we deal with sports, hip-hop, interviews, Popavisms 101, and motivation. If that sounds like something you can rock with, then before you exit, before you hit stage left, kindly hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. Yeah. And if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, thank you. But you know how I do. You know how I start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. We in the end game. We in the end game, people, because it's hot as a motherfucker. Like, yeah, it's hot. It's El Caliente. Like, for real. It's hot, hot. But we also in the end game because, you know, like the last 2 crazy stories been coming out of Brooklyn, you know what I mean? New York City. So, Brooklyn, we got a little baby boy, 19 months, you know what I mean? Almost about to be 2. Gets mauled by the family dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, mom drops off the kids, the 3 kids, or the father gets the kids, or whatever. They not together. You know how it should be. Leave the 3 boys, you know what I mean? They got 3 boys. Leave the 3 boys with daddy, you know what I mean? I believe his name is Vernon Fostor, and the little baby name is Ryan Fostor. Mother name is Susan. Can't think of her last name. She leaves them with him. He, you know, takes the kids, do whatever, then goes to work, Home Depot. He trying to get it out the mud and trying to provide, I'm assuming. I don't know if he's on parole. I don't know if he's a felon. I don't know none of that. I'm just reading this story. Goes to work. The dog, a Rottweiler, mauls the little boy. You know what I mean? The 2 other brothers, who's 9 and 11, I want to say, tries to stop the dog, do whatever they could do. They realize they can't overpower the dog. And oh, by the way, I believe the 11-year-old child got bit by the dog in 2019. So they already had an incident with the dog. You leave the 3 kids. I mean, they minors. Like, you know what I mean? And as I was reading the story, you know, I'm a 90s baby. You know what I mean? Meaning, you know what I mean? I grew up in the 90s. Generation X. You know what I mean? We the best. I said, damn. I remember being left in the house with my older sister, you know what I mean? My younger brother, you know what I mean? Sometimes other little cousins, or depending on the situation. And it wasn't all good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to divulge some of the things that happened, at least not right now. I just want to try to paint the picture that I know this is set up for something bad. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, like I said, you know, rest in peace, condolences to the Fostor family and to their family for losing their child in this manner, in this fashion, because stuff like this shouldn't happen. I recall, you know what I mean, police having to come in the house when mommy went out, or just things not going the way people probably thought they was going to go, coming up in the 90s. Like, shit happened. Shit pops off when you leave kids unattended. So again, I don't know his circumstances, like if he home and he got to go to work, like the mother was saying when you read in her statements, you know what I mean? And I know she's devastated, you know what I mean? Like he could have used better judgment. He could have maybe called in late. Maybe he could have did something else. Now, also, she said at the last minute, you know what I mean? He changed it up. Supposed to be staying at his crib, ended up staying at the parents' house, his parents, who's out the country, you know what I mean? And, you know, they took him to the hospital and all that, and, you know, they couldn't save him. So, you know, may Allah have mercy on him. May Allah give their family strength to deal with these crazy, you know, in times of grief. But it's just like, damn it, man. You know you're going to be going for 8 hours at least. Like, you're going to be going for at least 8 hours. And a lot of times when parents leave their kids, this ain't the first time. Like, you know, the first time you may do it, you may be downstairs, you may be outside, you know what I mean? You may have a neighbor be listening out, you know what I mean? Like, all type of shit goes on. Some of us grew up in some, you know, abnormal, you know, circumstances, unusual circumstances. Some of us got some wild, crazy parents, you know what I mean? And so you raised in a different type of way. That's putting it lightly to keep it a buck. And y'all already know, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. So, you know, for the parents now that's thinking about it, been doing shit like this, kids of a certain age cannot stay home by themselves, especially with no big ass dog. Like, and oh yeah, like I said, you know what I mean, just a few minutes ago, I was about to say in the other video because I'm so programmed to saying it now. But just a few minutes ago, yeah, when you read the story, you say one of the older brothers was also bit by the dog. Got marks still on his body from the dog. So what are we doing? Let's make better decisions, especially with our kids, our most prized possessions. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's not your job, it's not this, it's not these kids that don't ask to come here. Especially when the father or the baby daddy or whatever is like, you know what I mean? I'm not really cut out for this shit. I don't think I'm going to be a good dad. And, you know, that's another story. But, yeah, they don't ask to be here. So, you know, when you still bring them in, it's your sole duty and purpose to protect those kids by any means necessary, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Check it out, though. We moving on, because you see the thumbnail, you know what I mean? You see the Nas. We're going to talk about Nas real quick. And then we're going to talk about some Harlem shit on the back end real quick, though. So Nas' album just dropped, you know what I mean? King's Disease 2. 15 songs. And when it came out the night, I believe, that Kanye did like the second concert. And I didn't really check for the Donda or the Donda album or whatever it is. I didn't listen to the album yet. I don't even know if it's out. I know I had seen some things on the other channels. Now I could throw that in. On the other channels, you know, he performed or whatever. And it's like, I'll listen to the album when it come out on iTunes or Tidal or Spotify. You know what I mean? I'll listen to it that way. I didn't watch the performance. But I guess he did it again. And it was during this night that I first listened to it. And I listened to it because it's the follow-up to King's Disease, which I think is a fire quality, high-quality album from MCs, from artists, from rappers in the last year and a half, 2 years. You know what I mean? There's not really a lot of great albums, if you ask me. You know what I mean? J. Cole's dropped. You know what I mean? I think Drake dropped the album. A couple other little people dropped albums, you know what I mean? But I hold them up to the albums that I like, that I can rock with, that goes in rotation. You know what I mean? When albums come out that I like, or songs for the gym or riding around, I throw them in rotation. I'm sure everybody got a playlist of, you know, the things that they riding around listening to in the house when you clean it up, etc. But anyway, I listened to the album. I gave it a once-over. And out of the 15 songs, I really only like 9. You know what I mean? Then I listened to the album a few more times, because that's what you have to do when you listen to an album. And then to fully grasp the album, to fully appreciate the album and see if it's a good body of music that the artist is putting out. And that's for any artist. But Nas is a different type of artist. Like, he's the number one artist to me. Go see the other video. Who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Yeah, I got Nas 1, if you didn't see the other video. And I got Hov number 2. Hola, Jovito. Yeah, he number 2. Nas is first. So after you drop a King's Disease with, you know, Car 85 and some 27 Summers, and you know what I mean? Like the bangers that he got on there. King's Disease, obviously. I thought it was going to be like, you know, you see the verses, you know, the locks and dips that I'm talking about. That energy is kind of different. And I know as he probably was viewing and watching that spectacle as it was, like the rest of us, he probably was like, dang, you know what I mean? Could have come with some more energy. And the album is a fire album. I'm not going to say it's a classic. I'm not going to go as far. Again, to me, he is the GOAT. So his bar is the highest of the highest, like highest of the highest. Like Teddy Pendergrass, you keep on lifting me higher. Like he's the top of the pinnacle, you know what I mean? And then Hove is right under there, you know what I mean? Jade is in top 5 too. Top 5, Get All Out. That's 3 New York niggas. It's a couple more, you know what I mean? I'm biased, of course. But 15 songs, like Nas don't really like, King's Disease had 13 songs. This album, 15 with no skits. Lauryn Hill appearance. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Fire. Rare. Fire. Start the album off lightly, though, with the pressure. Fire. Now, as I listen to the album, I'm going to say 2.5 more times. Once in the gym, once in the car, you know what I mean? And the first time I listened to it, I was in the house at nighttime, just winding down, you know what I mean? And now that I listen to it a few more times, know some of the words, you know what I mean? Know some of the beats and shit. You appreciate the album more, like I said. Moments. As soon as when I heard Moments initially, though, I thought of the joint he got with Chrisette Michele. Damn, what's the name of that song? On Hip Hop Is Dead album, you know what I mean? Unforgettable, you know what I mean? And I was kind of comparing the two because, you know, I'm in the comments online, seeing what other channels are saying. Moments is one of the best songs in there. So is Nobody with Lauryn Hill. Her just coming back, smacking people around like, oh yeah, I'm still, you know what I mean, nice like that. And You Miss Me. That's why Kanye talk about it. A few MCs done dropped her name, sprinkle her name, you know what I mean? Like just the show it's more to MCing and even female or not. Like, but she is a female without doing all the extraness. And it's been a long time since, you know what I mean, the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. But even with that time that has passed, her legacy and, you know, yeah, her legacy and what she contributed to the game is cemented. As people say in the street, it's certified and solidified. Like, you know what I mean? You can't change it out, do it. You can't bury it, throw it under the rug because it's too important a body of work. I think she got 5 Grammys, you know what I mean, or something like that for that album. And real quickly, while we're talking about Lauryn Hill, you know, it was controversial or a lot of back and forth on whether it was a true hip-hop album because she really is an artist. Like the Prince symbol, like, yeah, rest in peace, Prince, but the Prince symbol, and like Nas always try to, you know, throw all these AKAs on his name. Ask me now, I'm the artist, like, you know what I mean, on Nas' like, you know what I mean? But back to the album. Nas is good, like, song 5, he ended the album off that. Now, again, out of the 15, now I like 11 songs, you know what I mean, 11 and a half. I really don't like Bible, not really a big fan of EPMD, and I'm mad because the song is fire. First of all, the first EPMD was all the way fire. That's in rotation. I be in the gym getting right to that on the treadmill, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't really like it now, not because EPMD is on there. He should have definitely put them on there. I'm glad that he put them on the song. I think Eminem is a little misplaced, and he killed it, if you will. Like Eminem, he loved Nas, he loved EPMD. You can see numerous of, you know, articles or interviews where, you know, when he talking about, you know, people he liked, who he came up listening to, who, you know, who he rock with. Nas is definitely one, and EPMD. And now EPMD is one of my favorite groups as well. Like, you know what I mean? Bucket low hats and standing on the album cover with the Benzes and all that, like, killing it. Like, you know what I mean? EPMD, fire. Then they put on Redman and, you know what I mean, Dies Effect, K-Solo, you know what I mean? They added to the culture, pushed the culture forward. But anyway, they killed it. It's refreshing to hear them because you really don't hear them. You know what I mean? A lot of old school artists, if you will, people like myself come up on, they not nowhere to be found. They push to the back or it's quiet for them. Like, they may be somewhere else, but They not getting no spins. It's straightening. Don't nothing get straight but straightening. It's like that shit. It's the baby cursing niggas out, then apologizing. It's Lil Durk and all this other shit. It's some drill music, you know what I mean? And we about to get off this Nas shit. So to me, it's a fire quality album. Bombs, yeah. You had to listen again. Shout outs to Bombs. At first he was like, eh. Then when I seen him again, I'm like, yeah. He like, nah, I had to listen again. And sometimes you got to do that. You make it hit bangers, but for the whole project. And then it's the synergy of the album, if that's the right word I'm looking for. And I'm talking about, you know, the feel of the album, how it feels, the whole vibe of the album. Do it feel displaced? Do it feels like it's all over the place? That's number one. And then the chronological order of the album, if it's skits on the album, all this makes a classic album. That's why I said after like only 3.5 listens, I'm not going to crown it a classic yet because I got to listen more and catch up to the shit that I miss. You know what I mean? Like a movie. When you watch it over and over, you catch shit you ain't catch. But we're going to get into this last thing, you know what I mean? You know, POPAVIST TV, that's what you tuned into. Yeah, if you still new, thank you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. So when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You know what I mean? There's still a lot of people that's just finding out, you know what I mean, about your boy, POPAVIST. Lee on the bat line. If you really know me, yeah, you know what I mean? And come on in, like, y'all already know, full transparency. And I appreciate all the new people coming in. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep, we ain't going nowhere, we ain't going no, yeah, like, we're going to keep on going, and they should have never let me. So yesterday, I'm chilling with some of your favorite YouTubers. Like, yeah, we was chilling with 10 Toes Down, you know what I mean? Shout out to Sub-Zero real quick, just because when I came out, about to hop in one joint, I'm looking, thinking it was somebody else, and it was Sub-Zero. Like, so shout out to Sub, you know what I mean? You see him floating around in the big truck and all that. But anyway, we was chilling with 10 Toes Down. Now, live action. You already know, it's your boy, POPAVIST. You now tuned in, POPAVIST TV. Also, today we live action with my nigga 10 Toes Down. You know what I mean? You already know.
We in Harlem, we coming through. Harlem still standing.
That's a fact.
They ain't shut Harlem down.
Not at all.
They ain't shut it down. They shut Dipset down, not Harlem. Harlem still standing.
Now, for me, in the real life, this is not nothing new. Like, you know what I mean? I know him or met him before. We got mutual friends, you know what I mean? They connected the dots. They plugged that. And so yesterday, we just really chilling in Harlem, you know what I mean? And moving around. Popped up on my guy, famous AAA, you know what I mean? With the carry bar tail hats I be rocking, yeah. But you're black, you could go support him. He was doing an ill video with some, you know what I mean, with some wild boys. Like, shit is crazy. Shit crazy. So we pulled up over on them, young dudes, you know what I mean? And you know they with the shits, because they, you know what I mean? They with the gang and all that. And, you know, when you see them interact and how we pulled up, and, you know, nowadays the climate, you know, some areas is no fly zones, you know what I mean? Harlem is no different, unfortunately, you know what I mean? And I know the verses, and a lot of people, you know, they looking at Harlem with the side eye, but yeah, make no mistake, it's not what you think, you know what I mean? It's definitely not that verses, it's definitely not that. And if you come here thinking that, you know what I mean, shaking, shimmy, y'all and all that, like, you know what I mean? Thinking all they do, I can't even remember their own lyrics. It's like all they want to do is hate. They don't think we bust out things. Uptown niggas getting cake. Show you how to stuff your cream. Thinking we just Harlem shake. I'ma show you gangster moves. Don't get caught out of place. My borough get it popping too. Like 7th Avenue flow, Lenox Avenue dough, 8th Avenue hoes, Lenox Avenue. Yeah, that part, like, yeah. Shout outs to my nigga Grizzle and Bombs on the beat. You'll get caught out of pocket. You'll definitely get caught out of place. So we pulled up on them niggas yesterday. You know what I mean? Believe the brother name is Mo. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken. Doing a little video and shit, and I was rocking with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, all right, this shit is sounding like some of the same shit that's out. But just because it all sound the same, don't mean people is not talented with their word placement, with their flow, with their swag. I don't be meaning that when I speak on that. I just be meaning that if you talented enough with that, then you can sound like yourself, or you can sound like at least somebody else that everybody is not sounding like. That's what I be meaning. It don't mean that your shit is trash. with that being said, like when they got to the chorus, I said, oh, whoa, okay. Y'all can't, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, all right, and this is why, you know, you got to keep your head on a swivel. This is why I be no fly zones, because of some of the shit they were saying in the chorus. And we going to follow up on that more. But then we popped up on my nigga Water, you know what I mean? Shout out to my nigga Water. If he's not the, he's one of the most interesting man since the Dos Equis nigga. Like, shout out to my nigga Water. You know I fucks with you hard, you know what I mean? Like, so we pop up to his joint, you know what I mean? His joints be crazy. He a promoter, regular everyday guy, but in the nightlife, turning to Batman, and he be all over New York City promoting some dope parties. So this is what I want to speak about real quick, because everybody, especially from Harlem, it's like a little secret, but it's not. Like, niggas wear this shit on their sleeve, and I'm from Harlem, so I can speak to this point. Everybody think they somebody, like even the nobody, and we all a bunch of nobody. Like, it's only, you know, like Dougie Fresh said, the only stars I know is in the sky. Like, you know what I mean? So we continue through the venue, like, yeah, go catch up, y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all young niggas, y'all some new niggas. And only stars niggas knows is in the sky. But sometimes people be in awe of other people for whatever reason. But everybody think they somebody in Harlem. So you know when it comes to like partying, going out, I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to go out, think you're going to get in, you know what I mean, a spot just because you think you somebody and you may know somebody. But yeah, you get left outside for a long time. You might get in, but it's at the end. Because a lot of promoters play games, and Harlem is small, and it seems like everybody know each other, but really everybody don't know each other. You know what I mean? Unless you a shaker, and you've been shaking for a long time, then your connection or your network might be crazy. But you could pop up at a spot and not get in and think you somebody. I seen yesterday at the spot that I'm talking about, niggas was tight that they couldn't get in. Like, you know what I mean? Standing ready to kill a bouncer. Like, yo, call such and such to the door, call such and such to the front. Call woo 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 or and ya, and it's like no, nigga, go to the back of the line. But I got in, you know what I mean? And I got in because of my guy, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's not just with parties, that's with life, that's with anything. That's why some people do skip the line. If you have relationships like that, cultivate them, you know what I mean? Don't just let them go by the wayside. But also know that, yeah, you could be humbled in Harlem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in any place. Like, you may think you somebody to somebody that's really somebody come through. And it's like, yeah, they going to get preference, or they going to get the picking and the choosing, you know what I mean? Because of who they is. The work they put in, maybe they family reputation, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Maybe niggas is fearful, like, oh, this is one of those niggas. Like, he's not really one of them niggas, but he one of them niggas. Yeah, shout outs to, you know what I mean? Yeah, shout outs to my guy, you know what I mean? So you could be humble. People standing on the line, the ladies, everybody come to the front, they get on the phone, they try to call and get in. And like I said, I know what it's like to stand out. People won't tell you that. Like POPAVIST, on POPAVIST TV, yeah, we tell the real, like it's full transparency. I done been left out or had to come out the pocket, and then because your pride and your ego is standing there with you like, oh, nah, niggas not about to play me. How much for the table, or woo, 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 woo? And yeah, all right, then let's get it then. You're not going to play me. I done did that a few times, being in my feelings like, damn, niggas is, you know what I mean? Niggas not recognizing. Or the people that I know is not here, or they are here, but the people that's in control, they one up over them. So nigga got to wait like one of the, you know what I mean? Everybody else. And that's how it be, you know what I mean? But leave a comment, leave a Gmail. If you know me, hit me on the bat line. Tell me one of your stories where you thought you was, you know what I mean? The big head honcho, the head nigga in charge, head bitch in charge, bad bitch in charge, come through with sweatpants. I done seen girls come to all white parties with sweatpants and try to pull a, I'm cute and I'm this and I'm that, and got left out, all like, oh no, $200 now. You could get in for showing up like that, but you going to pay. You know what I mean? You going to pay to get in. Or nah, you don't got the right sneaker. All y'all niggas got Pradas on, $200. Like, yo, we already got tickets. We already paid in advance, but it's after 12 o'clock. It's after 1 o'clock, and you showed up late, and y'all niggas is looking funny style. So now it's $150. I done been to spots like that, and Harlem is probably. I'm really just speaking towards that because I hung out there a lot. I'm in a party in Brooklyn, Bronx, you know what I mean, Queens, all over New York City, Long Island, Staten Island. But I'm just saying, Harlem and not even being biased. It's just a different, you know what I mean? And 10 Toes is with me. And I asked him, and I'm going to be putting up the footage. You know, we got like the slight interview, kind of like just kicking and chopping it up. Some of the stuff that niggas was talking about can't even be put on the internet. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And yeah, that part. It's your boy, POPAVIST. You're now tuned in. POPAVIST TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted. So sometimes we might be like, yeah, we're going to just talk for 15 minutes and then it turned up to be 25 minutes. It is what it is because we unscripted. We authentic because our track record is intact. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.